years ago, my next guest was a teen when police accused him of a crime he didn't commit. Fortunately, the charges were dropped, but that moment had a profound impact. Now, after lots of hard work, he's headed to law school, and not just any law school. He's going to Harvard Law School. We have Harold zooming in to share his incredible story. Hey, what's up, Harold? How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing so well. Well, okay, Harold, can you tell us a little bit about your story, how you grew up?
Yeah, no problem. So I grew up in South Stockton, which is the more impoverished side of my city, in a public housing neighborhood called Conway Homes in Southwest Stockton. As a kid, I was a fairly good student. I did pretty well in my classes, and I got a little bit of trouble here and there. But for the most part, I was a good student until around middle school and high school. I didn't have the terminology or the language to describe it, but now I'm looking back, I think I was just going through a lot of trauma. It was my first time experiencing some of my friends were getting killed due to gun violence, and some were being incarcerated for a long period of times. And I just think at the time I didn't really know how to cope with that. So maybe at times I was acting out for attention or just a lot of hurt and pain. Up to the point where I was actually arrested myself. I was accused of a robbery in San Francisco that I did not commit. I was in juvenile hall for a short amount of time. I actually don't consider myself formally incarcerated because I wasn't incarcerated for a long time. But that experience for sure had a lasting effect on me. And I got to see just how easy your freedom could be taken away. And it didn't matter about I was innocent, to be honest with you. It mattered about what type of access I had, what type of representation I had. And that was the first time I really seen the power of law. Fortunately, though, I was released. I was afforded a second chance that is very rare for young Black men like myself. And I was released. I had no charges on my record. I was on formal probation for a year, but for the most part, I was able to reintegrate back into society, which is a rarity. And so when I went back to school, I took it a lot more serious. I took AP classes. I even took the local community college. That kind of really got my things back together, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine everything that you said, that changes you. And you say, you're now in the position you are because you had help, right?
For sure. And I think I just want to make it clear that this isn't I pulled myself up by my bootstrap story. I was able to have a lot of resources and access to privileges that usually aren't afforded to people like myself who are from around crime. I think the talent and the intellect is universal, but the resources that are needed to cultivate that just aren't available as vastly as they should be. Like I said, I went to community college. I was able to transfer to UCLA, and being in that environment just really gave me it changed my trajectory of kind of what life, of what success is and what that means.
That opportunity did. And you're right. That's not afforded to everyone. It's not a given for everyone. So you're right. That opportunity is the one thing that really helped you kind of get there. And I love that you pointed that out. Tell you about the people that maybe made an impact on you that kind of got you where you're at right now.
So I think one of my biggest inspirations is kind of not what you say a typical inspiration is. The same year that I was incarcerated, one of my close friends, Keith Denegal, was arrested and charged as an adult for a shooting that he didn't commit as well. And the sad part is that because of our circumstances, my life could have easily been his. But the real tragedy is if he had the second chance that I did and had the resources I had, his life could have been mine. He could have been his way to Harvard Law School. At the same time, I was deciding what law school I wanted to go to. Keith actually just pled no contest to a manslaughter charge to come with a 16-year sentence. And people like Keith really remind me who and why I'm going to law school for, and to try to provide as much adequate representation as I can for people who usually can't afford it.
One of your mentors, I hear, is the Mayor of Stockton, your hometown. Can you tell us about him?
Yeah, so Mayor Tubbs, man, he's a funny. It was funny working for him because when I first started, he was just elected. He was the first Black mayor. He was only 26. I was about 20 at the time, so it was kind of weird. I remember, like, my first week, he hopped in my car, and my music came on, and I didn't expect him to know the music. But when he did, I was like, man, it's kind of weird that I listen to the same music as the mayor of my city. But I think that's a testament to how on the ground he is, and I think that helps him be a better leader. But yeah, Ted has been a great help, very hands-on as far as mentorship. I don't know a lot of Black men who went to elite institutions like a UCLA or Stanford or Harvard. I mean, he even wrote my letter of recommendations for law school, so he has for sure been a big help.
What are you seeing for your future now? I mean, this is amazing. Like, you're going to Harvard Law School. That's insane. Yeah,
to be honest with you, it varies by day. Some days it's like, I can't believe it, and some days it reminds me of the responsibility that I have to give back to people in community like my own. In my future, long term, I want to get involved in impact litigation, kind of represent face cases to try to change laws to litigation.
Yeah, I love you, man. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what school you're going to, it's expensive, but I can only imagine that Harvard Law School is super expensive. So Harold, we do have some good news. we were all very inspired by you. And so we teamed up with Digit, a super easy smart app that helps you save money, pay down debt faster, and it also reach your financial goals automatically. So we know Harvard Law School isn't cheap, but what you're doing is so important, especially now more than ever, honestly. So to help you manage your student loans and set you up for financial success, they're giving you $15,000 to help. Does that sound all right?
Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll go a long way. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Mayor. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kelly. Hello.
Mayor Tubbs, when did you first meet Harold?
I first met Harold, I think 3 years ago. I was at a conference speaking in Sacramento, and Harold brought some kids with him, and he told me he was from South Stockton, and my ears perked up. And I said, well, what are you doing? And he mentioned he was in community college, transferring to UCLA. And I said, well, you want to intern for me? And then the rest has been history.
What does it mean for someone like Harold to attend Harvard Law?
It means a lot, I think, for Harold and his family. It just changes the whole trajectory as to what his kids will see and be exposed to in the world they grow up in. But I think it also means a lot for Harvard to have someone like Harold who has the intellect, the intelligence, the grades, and the test scores, but also the lived experience, also the experience of being a young Black man and on the south side of the city that has had challenges, someone who has friends who are still incarcerated, who goes visit his friends and puts money on their books to this day. And to have him in conversations about the law and how it impacts people, I think just makes everyone's educational experience that much better.
So, Mayor Tubbs, what is your city doing to make sure more young Black people like Harold succeed?
Yeah, it's been one of my, as a young Black man, one of my passions has been to really upset the setup and to kind of change the structural conditions for young people in Stockton, including young Black people. So we have a program called Stockton Scholars, where for the next 10 years, every single kid who graduates from our largest school district is guaranteed a scholarship to go to a 4-year school, a 2-year school, or a trade school.
That's incredible.
Thank you, and really serious about creating opportunity for people, because we realize that Harold is exemplary and amazing, but there's other amazing, talented folks in my community, and that we just understand that talent and intellect are universal, but opportunities are not. I understand that government can't do everything, but how can we do the most with what we have to make sure that Harold's story is not unique, but becomes a story for every kid in Stockton who's smart and talented and works hard and actually has opportunity and mentors to help them begin to reach their potential.
And you're right. I mean, all those things were amazing. Well done, first of all. And you're right in the sense, too, of like education is so key. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. If you are educated, that is opportunity. And Harold, I mean, God, you know, the fact that you might stand out now, I mean, is there anything you want to say to Mayor Tubbs? That's really cool. He took a chance on somebody he didn't know, you know?
Yeah, I just really want to show my gratitude and like make sure that you know that your investment will come in with great annuity. I think it's the thing about paying it forward is like when you help me out, you don't only help me, you help my future clients, you help the young men and women that I come in contact with. And it's like a tree that keeps spreading. So I really do appreciate you taking a risk on me and taking a chance to kind of bring me in, and not only as an employer, but also as just a friend and a mentor. I appreciate you.
Yes. Well, and while this all goodness has happened, all these good vibes, before the break, you know, Harold, we got $15,000 from our friends at Digit because they were so impressed by you. But
really?
Guess what? We were also impressed. So I am going to round that up and throw in another $10,000. So that's going to be $25,000 to help kind of set you up. It's expensive, college. So we just want you to not have that huge, you know, debt is such a huge thing for
wow.
And adults that are still paying off their debt for college, by the way. So, you know, we just wanted to be able to help you a little bit as much as we can. So we hope it does. All right.
It does for sure. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Harold. And thank you so much, Mayor Tubbs, for all the work you're doing, not just with Harold, but within your community and really being like a beacon of change. That's really, really important, more so now than ever. Harold, I cannot wait to see just what great things you accomplish next. You change those laws. You make them fair for everyone. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Please don't make me keep going.